Hey, beautiful people. This is Daniel Jones, your inspirational lifestyle leader. Hope all is well with you. Hope all is well with your families. You know, I was just sitting here thinking, and I do a lot of thinking, that when we go through this life, as we go through this life, problems going to always exist. There's always going to be some type of issue, circumstance that we have to work out or work through. So when problems come my way, I like to have the mindset or the perspective of giant versus grasshopper. Giant versus grasshopper. What do I mean by that? No matter how big or small the problem is, and I'm really talking about our big problems, our gigantic problems, our supersized problems, right? That sometimes it will have you want to quit. It will have you want to fold. It will have you want to tap out because you don't know how to deal with it. You're figuring that it's just too heavy. It's too much. You know, so we all have those giant sized problems that comes our way. But I like to take those giant sized problems and say, you know what? I have a lot of self-talk. I encourage myself. I motivate myself to say, it's huge. It's big. It's difficult. It's hard. But I'm going to get through this. I'm going to overcome it. I'm going to figure out a way to get this done. It's not going to have me quitting. It's not going to have me tapping out. I'm going to figure it out. If I got to go over it, around it, under it, or through it, it's going to get done. And so when we go throughout life, a lot of times people quit because how big the problem is. But even though it's a giant-sized problem, I'm looking up at this giant. I say, yeah, you coming down. Because I got to get through you in order for me to be successful. In order to reach my goals, I have to find a way to overcome it. So I like to look at my giant-sized problems and say it's nothing but a little old grasshopper. That's the perspective we have to have. Because if we are able to have that self-talk, to encourage ourselves to say, problems going to always exist. We can't just quit at any little thing. When it comes our way, we have to figure out in our business, in our personal life, on our jobs, in schools, in life general, how to deal with it, how to overcome it. Now, we all know the story of David and Goliath. We know who the giant was, and we know who the grasshopper was. But what did David do? David didn't let that giant-sized problem discourage him. He knew the power that was within him. He knew the skill set that he had. And he knew he was going to take down this giant. So just like some of us, we need to be able to have that mindset like David and say, hey, the problem is big. Yes, it's going to be hard to overcome. But I know the power that's within me. I know the skill set that I have. I have the goods. And I'm going to overcome it. So let today be that day that you tell yourself, problems will no longer have you sitting along the side of the curb watching life go by. Problems will no longer discourage you to have you quitting and say, I can't do this. Because if you say, I can do it, you can. If you say you can't, you can't. And you're right in both instances. So I choose to say I can get through it. I can overcome it. It's nothing but a giant-sized problem, but in my eyes, I look at it as if it's just a grasshopper. It's small, it's minute, it's just one step further for me to overcome to reach my goals. So I hope you all got something from this today, because I just preached to myself. So guys, giant versus grasshopper, your giant-sized problems are nothing but grasshoppers. Let's get it, y'all. Let's do it. Let's reach all the goals that you set out to reach. You can do it. You have the power within you to get it done.